Simon, during the marketing phase, maintaining confidentiality is extremely important. Can we talk about the non-disclosure agreement, and the business points that an owner should think about and care about in that non-disclosure agreement, or what's often referred to as the NDA?
Yeah, the business owner, their biggest risk really is someone that is approached by the investment banker, mentioning it further within their business, and it coming back to them through, their junior team. So it may be the purchasing team of the buyer gets to hear that they may be looking at the business, and they call up one of the sales managers and says, hey, I hear you're looking to sell. You obviously don't want that to happen, so you've got to put something in place that maybe keeps it to within the senior team of the buyer, and make sure you maintain that. That's the biggest risk. I think there is solicitation of customers that will be a concern. There'll be solicitation of staff that could be a concern, and the NDA will look to pull those points together as well, and forbid that happening through a direct result of the information they receive. But I think the core aspect is that they just don't want the people to know the business is for sale. So that's the bit to look at and to make sure you put that in a fairly focused manner.
Bill, do you want to add to that point just around the non-disclosure agreement, and maybe what some business points or some things that a business owner needs to consider in that actual agreement and document?
Well, I agree with what was said prior, and the key thing, the important thing with the non-disclosure agreement to keep in mind is the potential buyer agrees not to share private, proprietary, non-public information, agrees to not try to hire employees, and agrees to not even talk about a potential transaction might be contemplated. And that's a key thing in this business, is you don't want a competitor to know that a company is for sale, because the concern always is a salesperson might rightly or wrongly say, well, you don't want to buy from them. They're up for sale. Who knows if they're having all kinds of issues. We're a solid company. My experience has been, for the most part, if you're talking to the right people, you're talking to a private equity firm, you're talking to the CFO or a corporate development executive at a company, these tend to be sophisticated people. They understand the game. You need to be careful, of course. There's always exceptions to that, but my experience has been, for the most part, these are sophisticated people, and they understand the importance of not talking about deals and disclosing non-public information.
Mm-hmm. Michael, any specific terms that you see in non-disclosure agreements, like length of the agreements? I've typically seen anywhere from 12 to 36 months, but what are you seeing that are commercial terms?
I'd say on average, it's probably 2 years would be the term. A key term that Bill mentioned, but I think deserves elaboration, is the making sure that buyer who now finds out that particular company is for sale doesn't start, advertising to hire executives and hire particular people and approach different people. And sometimes it can be very underhanded. It could be in Bridgeport, Connecticut, there's only one newspaper, and all of a sudden they put a big ad in the front page, looking for engineers or whatever. So you just got to be careful. Any good lawyer will be able to cover that issue.
Yeah, you're right. Non-disclosure agreements, I've seen them, oftentimes referred to as non-disclosure and non-solicitation agreements. So that non-solicitation is an important piece of that process and that agreement.